and maybe a natural growth can steal some games. These cards really do this pretty easy. Monogreen has a really fast hands. Golgari are really hump deck. I think every deck is doing his better. So we have a really nice match of Magic the Gathering here.
Yeah, both decks have real nice curved hands, so they can both go Lots Cobra and develop their four drops. Actually, the advantage of being on the play, the Golgar player was the first seed on Swiss, so I really it can really get advantage through that. Um, but the draws aren't that great on Joseph's side because he just draw some lands. It's kind of running out of gas here, so it kind of depends on the next draws it has. While the monogreen can still make some good plays. Something that I like a lot about Lots Cobra is this kind of hump it does because okay, the Golgar deck killed the Sculptor of Winter, but after that he was still able to double spell on turn 3 thanks to Lots Cobra, and he will double spell again on turn 4 using Eska's Charity or Ovenwald Audit plus the Blizzard Brawl if he wants to takes a blocker. I didn't like the sequencing of the Golgari a lot. I think the best opportunity to play Lotus Cobra is on turn 2 and on the play, and that was like the ideal scenario for Josie, and he didn't maximize it. So he couldn't. He had to sacrifice the treasure, and he couldn't follow with Ren 7 now, and I don't know, maybe it ends up being a bit of slow for the next turns.
Yeah, and Mono Green Dog, not the best card. The card that said they could totally stole this game. And unnatural growth is huge here, and because of this slow game, and that I will talk about, now the Mono Green player can do a lot of things here. So let's see what he's gonna do. So okay, if he draws a
From
land,
root to
the
canopy,
sandwich will
the
be
trees are
huge. It will
mighty.
be totally huge because he can do a really free attack and don't must do a removal spell. So it would be really nice. But okay. So just make the overload can attack, but a natural growth really break all the game counts. It's really hard to do something in combat against this card,
The forest
and I
will be
think this Mono Green
overrun.
really did this pretty well on this game. So that's it. He lose totally to Planeswalker. And the game is kind of strange because Golgari doesn't draw anything. No, he draws a removal spell, but doesn't draw no a really impact card. He totally can lose to any threat of mono green if the game is still like that.
Yeah, the Golgar hand was a bit shallow on resource, and after using Binding the Old Gods, he couldn't actually develop more the game. He was not able to um, he was not able to really capitalize on the fact that he was on the play and disrupted the monogreen's curve with um, destroying its 2 mana ramp creature. And now he just kind of out of steam here because the overall audit is pressuring. Okay, I think Joseph will just destroy it with Infernal Grasp because there are open deck lists and the monogreen is not playing Snakeskin Veil, so no punishment for waiting until the last possible time. But still, not a great situation for Jose here. The good fact is he has some draws that can put himself back on the game, like the Smitterhood Massacre, which will at least sweep the tokens. But other cards like Storm the Festival can just make his board presence from nothing to really threatening. So overall, the top deck war favors the Golgari, but he still has to match the board presence.
Yeah, yeah, it's still really important because Golgari has to draw really well. You know? Okay, draws Wrath, okay, but remember his open deck list. That was the first one. He has just two, and he has to is still drawing pretty well. No, I don't remember if he used Soaring. I guess he used yes. Soaring would be
Yeah, he
a
plays two
huge card
sorries.
here. Yeah, Soaring would be a really nice card here, but he must draw pretty well because Mono Green still have pretty good cards. Hincher class especially, I think is awesome in this kind of game. You know, because any creature here is a real threat. So really, I think Golgari has the tools to win this game still, but it needs to draw better because that draws them don't doesn't develop the all the game doesn't help a lot, and this cousin was really nice actually. I think it's really nice, but I think another carrot is the better play.
Yeah, I like the Esca's Chariot better here too, because it will give some board presence and straight swing for H. And also, after combat, Mertcan can Blizzard Brawl the Rain 7 token, and it will just leave Joseph with nothing. So, kind of, okay, draw something now or you die. And it's a
Yeah.
very good situation because even if Joseph draws something, it's not like the game is on a bad situation for Mertcan here. So, um, I do think he is pretty favored to win this game right now. I can only see Jose having a good out if he draws Storm the Festival and make a real good board presence with like a Ring 7 plus Chariot or Lolth, cards like those.
Yeah,
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 definitely
lots of
not the
be
land.
amazing, but yeah, yeah, this line just does nothing, you know, just as concede and stuff like that. I think it's really hard. He still has a mainland, you know, to blocks, but when your mainland is just doing block for nothing,
Yeah,
you
he's dead
just
on
step
board
ahead
because
to
the Mammoth itself can just crew the Esca's Chariot and finish the game here. So just the
yeah,
formality
yeah.
of the American doing it with the land makes even easier, so he doesn't have to set stops or full control or anything like that. Just crew it and go for the win,
Yeah, yeah,
and
just
that's what
magic like Richard Garfield wants, you know. Just attack, okay. And Mono Green is good what Mono Green does all this season. You know, things really change. You know, cards are banned, but Mono Green is still doing his job pretty well. So it's a really nice deck here, and 1-0 here. So Mono Green leads this match, and we're going to sideboard plans, Sandwich.
yeah, one green goes brr and just finish the game. And actually, I think the Golgar player Drell is slightly below average, but he still didn't maximize his few resources on the first turns. I do think the Lotus Cobra play on turn two would make a big difference here because having the sequence of Binding the Old Gods range 7 would give him a bit more time of setup, so the natural growth wouldn't be as hard. And but it's still it's the kind of card that just won the game. It's a card that makes a big difference when boards are clogged. Uh, Personally, I don't like the card a lot, but I can see its merits when this kind of games shows, when this kind of game happens, because really any creature pressuring and doubling the damage and making something as small as the cat tokens or lower curve creatures doing damage. It's something that really uh, excels on, and was the very um, responsible for Mertcan win on the game one.
Yeah, totally. Because when you have to remove every creature, your game is really hard here. And Monogreen plan was, I think, was the ideal. So just try to smash opponent in game 2 and 3 with Veil to backup. And Golgari has a card that I really like a lot. This vampire. Just remember the card of the game. This vampire is really, really, really huge against Monogreen. No, it is Blood Vial, Purgle. This card is really large Monogreen. 5/6 is really hard to beat, and a really nice deck to stop all these aggro cards. So Jig Up, did what you say about Natural Verse. So first turn you just take a land, and after that you use a tutor. So this card is really amazing, and Golgari is just going crazy with your mana, and let's see how you doing. Remember, Golgari started game 1, but it loses. So Beyond the Draw is not the worst thing to Mono Green. Lotus Cobra here to explode his mana sandwich. If this Lotus Cobra is still in the game, I think really nice things can do to Mono Green.
Yeah, I think I like the Blood Vial Purveyor line here because it just set up some clock and also puts a blocking creature. But it's really hard for Jose here the line because he has tapped land on Florahedron, but that wouldn't make him able to do some play right now. And he could go binding the old gods and try to make a better hemp, but he also could save the treasures for later and sequence straight with Rain 7. Very tough decisions, and he ended up dealing with the Lotus Cobra, so he wouldn't be so behind on mana and resource in general. The wouldn't let the monogreen hump and make the fearsome Esca's Chariot turn 3. It's a really above average play for the third turn of the game. And he's going for binding the old gods here. I think maybe he could set up the threats before it starts answering the creatures. It's a line I would like a bit more on the Golgar side because Monogreen can kind of go teach to cheat on resource. He can play the resource game reasonably well, and we saw in game one, Monogreen was able to punish the Golgari player card by card. So it's a tough position to just answer stuff because the Monogreen will not run out of threats.
Yeah, yeah. I really like the line that you say about a Blood Veil turn 3, because
Those who
Monogrin can
hunt
answer
this
this card
forest, the
directly on turn
will of the
3 or
woods
with
is
4
made
mana, for example.
manifest.
So you totally can aggro your opponent. It's like a huge Tarmogoyf who flies and grows every turn and stuff like that. I really like this play against Mono Green because Mono Green has a really weak when I talking about flying creatures. The deck just does nothing. Just suffer. So it would be really nice. And after that, some removal spells to back up, because mono green removals totally depend on fight. So a removal spell really destroy this plan. And do this just mid-range plan deck. Mono green really like it. How you say, it's a card by card game. It's okay for mono green. That's what he likes. What mono green doesn't like, big flying creatures and a lot of removal spells who totally cut his game. That's what mono green doesn't like. So this is low mid range deck with no pressure. Totally, I think the mono green is kind of okay. This situation, okay, isn't the perfect one to mono green, but it's really better than a big vampire just attacking, and
Fear
by now will be
burns within us.
almost killing the game. So I think the Golgari players just respect a lot Mono Green and could be more aggressive.
Yeah, actually, I like this trap the American setup because he goes for the ring 7, kind of offering some good blockers. Because Jose could save the ring 7 just blocking one of each cat with his creatures, but he would make the ring 7 token with 2 damage, and it would be able to be killed with Werewolf Pack Leader plus the Blizzard Brawl bonus. So he was playing around the fight spell. I kind of like this. Okay, I'll just let Ring 7 die. This token holds the fort for me right now, and I'll be able to pressure from the sky with Purveyor. I have 2 creatures with 6 tokens on board, so it will be very hard for the mono green player to just pass through this wall of big creatures.
Yeah, it's really hard to beat this, but I think that Ned he can do some lines here. Let's see how this playing well with Mono Green. It's a lot about doing some pretty good combats. So I really wanna see what he's gonna do here, and I think Grasp will be released. Grasp is really strong here. I think it really does what he wants. But of course, Veil, it's a real card here, so playing around is really important because if Veil is casted, of course they will be here, but okay. But if Veil will be casted, the werewolf card will be 4 potential 6 power and really change this game. That's okay. Okay. We have this safe attack here, and I think Mono Green is trying to do a pretty good spot. But a removal spell totally blinks out of this attack and can change everything. But let's see how it will be here. Blood Vial is going really big, and some pretty good draws can do a totally change game to Golgari, be more aggressive and stuff like that. Let's see a fight or not.
Yeah,
And
I did
fights.
not love this attack here. I think the werewolf pack leader attack would be good, or at least make the troll token before attacking, because he would still be able to make a bigger token. He sacrificed the chariot. Okay, he takes care of the ring 7 token and starts opening more uh, better combats. But still, it kind of hurts me not to see the full value here on Werewolf Pack Leader. It's a card that always, when possible, I try to make some small attacks here and there, but also I like the monogreen side of not being greedy, because he could of just trying to go, okay, I go 5 attack here and Blizzard Brow and kill something and make a better attack, but he would be very punished on the Parasite Grass, especially because Werewolf Pack Leader is a human, so Joseph wouldn't even need to sacrifice the treasure. And the way he did the play right now, he did not play around this card, actually, because he could have maybe crew the chariot again and make sure he would kill the bigger creature. But he's still not on a bad position here. He can just try to make some pressure and cycle through his hand with the plug tokens he generate. And okay, that kind of depends what he draws on the next turn, but game's still kind of open. Okay, maybe not until the Midhook Massacre gets online, but it's not the end of the world for the Mono Green right now. There's still some room for try something.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard by now. And GGup did restart here. And GGup was really nice. It was that's why GGup is so good. I think that's why you play Golgari. You know, of course you have good black cards here. You have some really Greek cards, okay. But why don't play Orzhov? Because GGup is really nice. And when it does nothing here, Jiggy up his our job when he tutors a ref FX, and the game is all changed. Okay, these two veils can do some really stuff because even if Massacre was cast for 4, he can save something, but totally wrap the game and change a lot. And I think the Golgari player totally take the game to his favor, especially because with two veils be casted, the vampire is really angry and start to attack.
Yeah, I think I like making the werewolf pack leader 5/5 because he can sacrifice the other wolf for destroy the Midhook massacre and still try to have some attacks here on the werewolf pack leader, activating abilities and pressure through even the 7/7 rain 7. And also I think the Golgar play the green justify itself on the deck because there are some cards you can get from white, like the hunt creatures, like binding the old gods, like Rain 7 and Esca's Chariot. It's a Rain 7 plus Esca's Chariot was a very uh, strong combo for week 0 metagame from the first Innistrad, and it kind of fell out of flavor when the metagame become more Zed centric because of all the fading hopes destroying the tokens. And
Ooh, this draw.
yeah, this is a good draw. Actually, I think the Mertcan lost a window of destroying the Meathook for free because he did not create the old growth token, but also did not sacrifice the werewolf. So okay, lost some value, but the game still isn't.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I will copy that. I will copy that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But that's it. 8 power in attack, Sanders. 8 power in attack, and the Golgari player isn't attacking. You know, he's just thinking about block and block, and now block. Okay, now block is fine because he drew a removal spell, but block was really hard. You know.
Yeah, makes the combat math choke. But the Bind of Old Gods kind of made the things safer for Jose. He can just kill the werewolf pack leader and would not have to deal with a trampling creature. And then he will just swing for he can swing for 90 and then 9 with the Purveyor if Mertcan doesn't sacrifice anything of the bloods. But he can just swing for 16 here if I'm not miscounting anything. It's 7
Yeah.
plus 9, yeah, it's 16. And he would leave just at 1 life, so any creature would just, any creature dying would just finish the game. But he's playing safe here.
Yeah.
He's not attacking with the token. Maybe he will go for Loath instead and save the Bind of Old Gods for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
play.
Yeah, I don't like this line
Envy the
because
strong.
you do
Today we will
sometimes
slay our
I
enemies.
don't know, maybe strange attack for your opponent because if you destroy the unnatural growth, the game is just over. You know, just don't have anything to do. But he's playing really safe, and for this in this line, I think it's okay because he's just playing safe. All the game one, it plays safe in game two, playing safe, so it's more like a style here, but and I like more aggressive plays. But if I really prefer to destroy your natural growth. But okay, it has a really strong position with some pretty good blocks. It's not like the vampire. No, you will be killing this game anyway. So fine. I think he's looking for a removal spell maybe because it I don't know take for 12. Well, let's see.
Yeah, I think the Golgar player could be taking more proactive roles since the first game. It's still going okay for him, like not terrible. The matchup is good on his side. Yeah, he found the Blizzard Brawl on the last possible card, so at least can deal with the flyer. But
Yes.
I think it's just game anyway because Joseph has the Bind the Old Gods on hand. But the point is, I think the Golgar player could be taking more proactive roles some spots. The Mono Green itself is not a great deck when playing from behind. When some creature like Corvair or even the Rain 7 token or Essence Chariot from opponent start swinging, and Mono Green
A
doesn't
gift
have
in
a
exchange
board
for
to
loyalty.
leverage on the early turns on the earlier turns. It can get real talk for him. So this opportunity for the Golgar player could be better
Go on,
seized on
run!
the first
But we
turns of
will
the game,
catch
the
you.
earlier turns of the game.
Yeah, but well, I think like yes, the binding will be removal the werewolf pack leader and just swing for little, and we're going to game three. So, oh, but I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
doing a
he can
ran and
save the with
yeah,
chariot. Yeah, he could grill with chariot and block the rain 7 token. If he's playing so safe all the time, I do think he would not try to not be so safe right now. So at
yeah,
least he's being
yeah,
very consistent with the takes with his takeaways on the game.
yeah. He's been safe all day. So
Speaking of,
remember,
the
the Google
entire
Play was the
forest
first
is an
one
army.
at the Swiss part. So I think he's really happy with his planes playing this deck. So why change by now, right? So let's play just safe. He draws another blocker, and I don't think this what he wants. That's it. Concede or not concede? Concede. Okay, so concede game three. Mono Green will be on the play by now. Game three. And I think has changed a lot about this matchup, not Sandwich, because you can totally be more aggressive. You have hasty creatures. I think Mono Green is pretty good be on the play on game three.
Yeah, I like the chances on monogreen here, especially the sideboard plan. Also, it's something that really makes me happy here to see him cutting a bit of the smaller creatures and some humps, because the opponent is a deck that play sweeper spells. So when you make turn two creature to hump and it gets swept with the other creatures and you just lose some real big amounts of value here. So I like this plan. Also, I like the monogreen staying really aggressive here because he could play the side in the range 7, but that would just play on the Golgar game, which is to be grinder. When he just goes uh, creatures to the face, he plays a game he's more likely to win on the monogreen side.
Yeah, Monogreen just snap keep, with this Ranger class, two spells, and especially Unnatural Growth. Unnatural Growth was a totally game changer to Monogreen, so Ranger class on turn two can just turn three, make some. more a bigger attack, and after that just grow and grow, and that's it. Token just pass the game. Golgari doesn't go into ramp this time, so I think we have a more fair game, and this changed a lot. And Wolf going to Wolf, and let's go a turn with no attacking creature. What's pretty good to Golgari. What do you think by now? Sandwich, Golgari has a lot of removals, but does nothing with the time that he's taking. So I don't think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think the games when Mono Green just go creatures and then get killed one-on-one basis kind of favors the Mono Green because it has so many ways of generate extra value from its creatures that it really doesn't mind if the creatures themselves get killed. He has Esca's Chariot, Old Growth Troll, Ranger class, or cards that even if they strike at least once, they regain the value, like Werewolf Pack Leader or the Outland Liberator when it's night. So Mono Green is okay with 1/1 removal. What Mono Green isn't okay is when the 1/1 removal is paired with other bigger blockers, and also when it's paired with sweepers, because the sweepers can really mess with the incremental value those tokens generate, and also the removal spells make sure Monogreen can't just pressure with one or two threats, because if it takes it too slow, it gives time for the opponent to develop, and also makes the 1/1 removal better. But if he just overextends, he can just get destroyed by a Midhook Massacre on or on other matchups cards like Shadow's Verdict, Burn Down the House, and etc.
Yeah, Google player just doesn't draw anything, plenty of removals, but the removal by itself doesn't take the game. So right now, Mono Green has a really, really nice setup and a natural growth. These cards make a lot on game on, almost makes something on game two, and I think he really does what Mono Greens want. A huge board that just smash his opponent, and that's it. So it's bumper everybody, and after that, just can crew and make that big attack. Sandwich Monogreen has a really nice position here, and I don't know, maybe even a ref effect can change a lot what is going on here, and that's big attack.
Yeah, the point is, since the Esca's Chariot untapped, and he was able to protect it with Snakeskin Veil and keep generating value, it just outvalued the 1/1 removals. So Joser really needs the Midhook Massacre here. Actually, 2, 4, yeah, okay, the Midhook Massacre can still kill the creatures, but he draw another land, and that's it. That's game.
Because
We're
most of the
seeing.
snow decks just don't care when this creature dies, and these Orzhovs care something when they lose some creatures. But for now, for example, another situation that is really hard. Lotus Cobra totally doesn't like the guest creature. When he dies, totally kill Lotus Cobra, and this kind of play is exactly what you don't want. But two black swords isn't that good too. So game is more interest to mono green side by now. But I think the Orzhov decks are better against green based decks on these matchups.
Yeah, actually, the monogreen side here is working pretty great for this game,
Yeah.
because double Lots Cobra with the old growth steel on turn 3 makes for really great plays. And also, he doesn't have to attack into the creatures, And okay, the Cardarelli just drew the perfect card for this situation. That was the untapped white source. So he is now able to sacrifice Shambling Gas for value and exile the old growth troll. That's some really powerful line here and prevents him from getting a double spell again. But Esca's Chariot was the best possible threat here for Mertcan because it's a card that's real tug for the Orzhov decks to follow and make it a break parity with removals because it generates two tokens and the chariot itself. So it's a lot of value here we're speaking.
Yeah, Orzhov has tons of removed that I think they're pretty good because all them just exile and this just take all the value for the troll because troll is really good against removal decks, but when it exiles, it's really bad. And Vanishing Verse especially is pretty awesome. Exile instant speed, just 2 mana. A 2 mana removal in standard, I think is really strong. Uh, but Mono Green is doing pretty okay. You say about the Asuka's carriage. Asuka's carriage is really nice here. And until some Wrath appears, I think Mono Green is in a really good shape. Has Pack Leader. Pack Leader is really awesome against this card because you totally can grind them. And for now, Cardinal has no cards at Battlefield, and with no cards at Battlefield, some removal that he has are really weak. So I think Mono Green is a really good position and his only thing was thinking about was about okay if I take some wrath, but opponent has Cardarelli doesn't have a lot of lanes, so I think it's really okay to just doing a pretty strong board and just attack because by now every attack is about 2 draws, and 2 draws extra is really amazing against a grind deck. But okay, Cardella has some removal, but it's still a pretty good board to mono green.
Yeah, I think Cardarelli took the best possible line here because if he tries to line the blockers, he's very punished to a removal spell or even a creature like Ulven Wall Audit pressuring. So he tries to makes the damage and the value from the Werewolf Pack Leader lesser. So okay, Mertcan's still gonna swing for 4 and he's still to generate value from the wolf, but he would just be so behind if he took the double wolf attack here. But Cardinal is not on a great shape. The disadvantage of not playing more sweepers is that sometimes you don't draw them. He just missed a land drop, so it's not like he got really screwed for that. It just slowed down his development a bit. But having only 3, the Midhood Massacre, and not much card draw makes the life kind of hard for Carter here because the pressure is still happening. Pack leader is there, ranger class is there, generate value, and he's soon to go to the last chapter here. And also, it's not like Carter really have lots of ways to remove it from play. So okay, the game is not looking great to him right now because the mono green still pressures werewolf pack leaders going and drawing cards and trampling.
Yeah, if he takes the counter to pack leader, will be a 5/5 pack leader, and even a massacre could have killed. So I don't know if he takes this line, but we're just playing more safe. But no, go wild, totally wild here. Just trying to destroy it again and before some ref goes, and that's it. 1-0. Ooh, Sandwich Mono Green is just wild here. I really didn't expect a Mono Green doing so well, but just smashing. When you say about ref cards in Cardara deck lists, I totally agree with you, but I agree with you that Cardinals list because we expect a more grind meta game, and this deck list is really good against grind matchups. And Mono Green just is smashing this kind of game, against Golgari was almost the same thing, So Golgari has a pretty good deck list to go up every game, but Mono Green just smash really, really fast here, and we're going to game two. But even if Cardinal wants game three, will be with Mono Green on the play, and that's exactly what Agro deck wants. So I think it's a really nice choice here, but I think Mono Green has to to mulligan, but he keeps and draw a drop two. What a nice solution.
Yeah, actually, I like the Orzhov mid-range playing of having the Doomscar on the sideboard because it can up the sweeper count on the right matchups. But it's kind of ironically fun to think about because what made mono green and white win and maybe some lower to the ground aggros bad metagame calls. The fact that many sweeper decks were seen playing. We had Orzhov Snows and Mono Blacks and Golgaris and even decks like Celestian Festival packing Doomscar and cards like those. Maybe some flavor of Esper or Jimir control decks. Those decks were all playing sweepers, and it made the aggro decks hard without Faceless Heaven, since it's banning, especially because it was the only card of Mono Green that did not get hit by Vanishing Verse, and also helps pressuring against sweepers, both not overcommitting to the battlefield and still pressuring, and also damaging after the sweeper is played. And okay, many people saw that without the aggro being a good call, I will not play as many sweepers main board. That's the case of this Orzhov lists. I think both Cardarelli and Igor Predato lists were good for today. Good calls because they can
Darkness
grind
will
these
swallow the
attacks. They
light.
can also
Aren't I the
generate
generous one?
a ton of value without. They can also generate a ton of value, making the life for someone trying to play on removals real hard. But the cause of that is not packing the sweepers main deck. The kind of dead cards against the meta would be good against monogreen. And it's just that metagame dance we always see on new formats.
At
It's kind
least
of
there
weird
is
calling this
blood
one
on
a
your
new format,
hands.
but actually with the Epiphany and Faceless Band, it's kind of that. It's a new format after all.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a new format. It's just a short new format, but it's a new format. I really like it when Mono Green does this beast play, when you does beast after a ranger class in level 2, because you totally can smash a lot. Love, it's a card made to, okay, I will make some blockers and I will untap. And when you do this play, you just smash this kind of plan, and so I really love it when it happens and Mono Greens is make this good development. As you say, is a really kind of strange meta call of these aggro decks, but it helps a lot. Now, when you think about this Orzhov deck list that Cardella is using, I really love this deck list against a traditional Orzhov list, with blended snow and stuff. It's really easy beat this kind of decks, especially because they play a lot of refs like that, like this one, like this Doomscar. But when we play against Mono Green, is kind of different. But Doomscar was pretty good here. So let's see how they will play. So finds a land and nothing on the board. That's really bad. And draw a land so he can play mascots and game totally change.
Yeah, I did not like not playing the troll on the monogreen side I think the only way he could get very punished with Snakeskin Veil on hand would be a sweeper. And playing the troll would make him a bit more resilient against the sweeper. But again, this is the kind of the game that's not real easy for the monogreen side, because even if he played the troll and tried to make a bit more of value out of his cards, it's not like the Cardarelli would not have some good cards. His hand is full of good answers and threats and value, and makes the life for the monogram real hard here, especially because even if Saga Ranger class is on the last chapter, monogram doesn't have a lot of creatures. Many of the threats from the deck are Ask's Chariot, Natural Growth, other Ranger classes. So it's not the deck that takes the most out of the ability of playing creatures from the top.
Yeah, by now as the first from the top, so it's just a 4-4 with some protection, but it changed a lot because Monogreen player now has 2 points of life, so Cardarelli totally takes the lead in this situation and draws another removal spell, but Cardarelli has just can just be aggro by now, can take Planeswalker, but just being aggro, just attack, attack, and attack, and totally gonna win this game. I really like that. He doesn't think 1 second was when
I
the
will show
subject
you
was
what
about to
happens when the
change
spine
totally
my
to
gems.
a more aggressive position, and that's it. That's the kind of card the mono green draw in his late game. So it's not the best card. It's totally really bad. Uh, Probably game is just over, especially after this attack. I'll just score, make a 2-1,
You
pray
win
a
this
lot.
round,
Game is
but
totally
I'll
over,
be
and we
waiting.
totally gonna see game 3.
Yeah, and here he Carter can just safely go for the verse. Even if he faces Snakeskin Veil, he can double on Hagor's Mauling here, destroying the Ascendant Pack Leader, getting some triggers underneath his Massacre, and swinging for the win. So 1-1 here, and it's a game 3 on the draw for Orzhov midrange and on the play for Monogreen. The matchup might be better for Orzhov, but we both know, Roda, from playing a lot of Monogreens, that when the deck is on the play, it sometimes just goes brr and smashes the opponent down. So we expect some really exciting game 3 here. We are seeing Cardarelli's sideboard plan right here. He's thriving on some planeswalkers and cutting a bit of redundancy here, some deadly disputes, and more clunky cards that don't exactly play well to the board, and keeping the Doomskars. The Doomskar were very, very critical for him this game, the second game, making sure he would be able to take the lead on extra resource against Monogreen from Mertcan.
Yeah, Cardinal just take a mulligan here, no lane's hand. And by now it's a really nice hand, it's really curved. But Mono Green has a pretty strong too, pack leader on turn 2, and after that he can protect the card. So I think we both have some really good plans here, but no, goes for the token first, and after that you start to attack. So they better, and Cardarelli has 2 refs on his hands, but Sandwich, I really think Ranger class is one of the best answers to massacre here, because you can't just go big every turn, and it's really hard to beat this kind of game.
Yeah, I like Ranger class a lot on this matchup. It's one of the reasons like to play 4 on the monogreen decks I choose. I do not like this attack from the American side. I think it's okay to step back when we you can set better attacks on the following turns, both with Blizzard Brawl, both with the counter from Ranger class. So I do think exchanging resources plays to the Orzhov decks plan, and both decks have a good hands. Both deck has good hands and meaningful decisions trees here because we're seeing a very close sequencing on lanes on the Mertcan side because he could have played very different on the very differently on the those first turns on the early game, but we are still seeing how he can uh, I mean, how the decisions he chose to make also help it on a different way because exchanging the wolf makes means less creatures to maybe double block. I don't know. It's been a really tight, really close game here, and we also see Carter Ellis' hand is packed of good cards. He just needs to draw a bit of lands to make the those extra cards matter a bit more, and let's see how it goes from now because both Snakes, Kings, Veils, or Mertcan's hands make Cardinal's hand could be very punished here too because he if he goes for Mythic Massacre or Necrotic Fumes and takes the and needs the tempo play of Snakeskin Veil, it could be just game over because the pressure is real. American is swinging for 8 right now.
Yeah, and one of these cards has trample, the other one has a potential trample. So it's really hard to beat this kind of game. Let's see what Mertcan is doing, and he's going up totally. And Massacre just don't kill these creatures. He totally playing around Massacre, and it's really hard to say to a player on this situation to okay, your Planeswalkers would be the best play because Ref isn't that good unless Cardarelli draw Doomscar. So it's really hard to this horizontal position, But
You
let's see what
require
he
I
do. So
will
he does.
code.
I think how it will blocks say a lot, but this Blizzard Brawl totally gonna break this game, Sanders.
Yeah, it would not be that amazing of Blizzard Brawl because he doesn't have 3 snowlands, so he can't make the destroyer blockers and smash through anyway because he can set up good fights, but those good fights would mean he still would have to give up something on the exchange. And the wedding announcement flip is huge for Cardone because he goes from a mere 1/1 small token to 10 of power and tokenness on play. So it makes the math on blockers and attackers really hard for the monogreen here because the merchant can just pressure stuff, but he isn't sure if he kills anything. Like, okay, I'll attack with everything, but I can't for sure kill the Lofi. I can't for sure destroy all your creatures on blocking. It kinds of depends, but this Snakeskin Veil works real good for him. The way that Carter really chose to block, because now he just kills all creatures and the
I
love
will not
itself,
cry like a
while
meek
also
little
keeping
thing.
the creatures on play outside of
Do I? My power is for
uh,
annihilation.
the Mid-Hook Massacre range, and even Doomscar wouldn't be that bad because it would mean the troll would still create the enchantment in hand and later make a movement. So
My children drench their
okay,
hands
the
in the
game
blood
keeps
of my
going. The game keeps
enemies.
going here.
My will cannot
Maybe
be denied.
Snow Covered Forest would be a great draw for Mertcan. It's not. It's another Ranger
Yeah,
class. But
would be
yeah,
amazing. But let me think here. Yeah, yeah. I Snow would be really amazing to maneuver play. Now it can be a really hard combat. I want to see how it will attack and just add this, just a simple attack, just simple magic can be really nice sometimes, and that's it. Just double block, lose all the value, and Veil to protect it. Veil as a combat trick here in this matchup isn't so usual, but by now he's doing
That is
a lot of good
insufferable.
plays. So I think that's totally the
And
right
I
play.
will
He
come
has
with a
three
weapon.
removal spells at his hand, but against this deck with a lot of tokens, I think it is the right play. But I think we're gonna see a ref here maybe, or should after two veils. I think if Kaidarel start try to make a creature and sacrifice, don't be totally wrong too. That's it. We have a massacre, but the comeback would be really nice to Mono Green too, because the beast with Troll is really big. And Troll is 7/7.
Yeah, Ovenwald dotted here is huge. It goes for 12 damage here and makes the creature bigger, and they both trample. So even if Orzhov deck is able to make some chump blockers, and also he can play Eye Twitch and Soaring, but that would be 4, 6, no, actually 8, 90 damage tanked with Soaring plus Eye Twitch. Uh, this play okay, but it leaves Cardinals dead on board. Anyway, he would swing for 13. Yeah, he
Yeah,
would
yeah,
die to the Ranger
just
if Mertcan chose to Ranger class or activate the lair of the Hydra. Anyway, Cardinal would be dead, so he had no room to maneuver here on game three. So actually, we just saw the power of green deck again. I'm not sure what Mercan's thinking. Like, okay, is anything that my opponent can do here? Should I
yeah,
activate the
yeah,
land? Should I just attack? Reminder, it's open deck list again, so he just says, okay, no ways to punish me from this position. I'm just gonna up the ranger class and Ovenwald's what do you expect for this finals, Roda?
Well, I usually would say that Orzhov is the favorite. I think the deck's really good against the street decks, especially using Edgar. Edgar is really big, and it's totally what Mono Green doesn't want, because your removal spell just takes some time, and the tokens make champion blocks are really not to what you want. But Merton is takes some pretty good games. I really like to watch him playing, and I think a Portuguese thing that we say that the player difference can be real. So I would say that Orzhov is the favorite, but Monogram is playing pretty well. So I would respect that.
Yeah, Mertcan's doing some fine gameplay today. Also, this Untapped Forest was a huge card for Mertcan. Here you can just go for Esca's Chariot, make the board real big, and it's still not on the Midhook Massacre turn. Actually, it's not seeded, because I thought the Monogreen was the 8th player, so he would be on the draw against everyone. But okay,
Yeah,
maybe it's random. Yeah, this kind of surprised me here. I don't know if the
or
players
player two.
themselves. Yeah, but here we are. We're seeing the result on the draw, even if he qualified on a higher seed. And okay, the Mono Green tried to take a step back because he can set up a better attack now, but also I would try to force the trades on the past turn, because that way he would play better against the Meat Hook Massacre. I think it's a card he has to take consideration all the time when playing against the Orzhov deck, because so making the board wide, and you know uh, also, I do think that this Blizzard Brawl is very brave here, because
Yeah.
there are vanishing verse on the other side. You know the we also say here that the Magic protect the Magic the Gathering itself protect the innocent people. So we're seeing Mertcan being very rewarded for not respecting the deadly dispute here, and he set up a bigger attack strings for a lot of damage. That's the Orzhov player at 4 life. And I know Edgar is a good card, but I don't think Edgar is doing anything against this God Draw of Monogreen on the play, especially. So we saw a blistering fast game here. Oda Monogreen just trampled over his bad matchup, Roda.
Yeah, yeah. When you believe, you believe. You know, believe in yourself. React to everything, and that's it. You just say, okay, if you have a spot removal, this play will be bad. Okay, you don't have. If you have a massacre, this will be bad. Okay, you don't have. So that's it. Again and again, you totally rewarded, and it starts on the play too. So it's a pretty good play, pretty good. It's a nice day to Mono Green, so
A nice day to
he will
Smork.
start.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, yeah,
nice day to
a
Smork.
nice day. Yeah, yeah, nice day to play. Nice day to play.
And also it at least guarantees him the all sage game 3 on the play. So winning the first game is huge, because it can set up Monogreen for being on the play for the third fatidic game if needed. And also sideboarded with the cards, the right cards, the proper cards for the matchup. I do think that now with a bit more slower hands, the Resolve will have some time to set up. He can have Doomscar here if things get really wide, but also if the Monogreen goes slow, Wedding Announcement will be able to jump block forever, and those extra lanes really don't help the Monogreen player here.
Yeah, I have a rule when I play Mono Green that I don't keep a hand that doesn't have a two drop. One drop, two drop. I need some really drops because game just go really different when you don't have your early plays. So a three drop, how the first creature spell for me is really hard, and that was attack, and probably we watch some Doomscar after that. Eupraxia can just, for example, make one block, for example. What? What?
I
Okay.
like this
Okay, making
play.
gameplay. Okay. Okay.
I like this play a lot from the Orzhov side, because he can uh, he
Yeah, he can do
can
that. This is really
try
good.
to
This
pressure.
is really
But
good.
I also like the monogreen side of not dealing the shambling gas the damage. So this way he plays around getting less one, and keeps the pressure, and probably I mean the new Phyrexia here, Igor chose to try to take the Ovenwald audit, so he wouldn't waste the Doomscar here on just those two creatures. But by the way, Mertcan assigned the combat damage. He was able to play around that, and now we're seeing a situation where Igor is very likely forced to Doomscar anyway, because he knows that Mertcan has the Snake Skin Veil, but is a natural growth was also a good draw here for Monogreen. We're seeing this card do plenty of work today with also It won both of the games for Mertcan on the past matchups for him, and also right now makes the plan to try to stabilize the board a lot harder. If he didn't have to Doomscar before, he likely has to Doomscar now. But also, Merkin has a Lair of the Hydra that wouldn't be huge of threat, so huge of a threat. But with the natural growth, it can just double its power and pressures real quick.
Yeah, yeah. By now, Lerfter Hydra is 8/8, so almost lethal. And if he draws another beast with trample, game is over. So a natural growth was a really amazing draw from Magicant. So let's see how they will play. Last turn, not exactly last turn. I think the last before last turn. I would love to just jump block, make a two attack, and draw a card. And when he did that blocker, all strange, gave me kinda out of control of him. That's it. Light of your Hydra, attacking for 8 because of natural growth. Okay, New Pyrexa has life, but it is a really hard situation for the New Pyrexa player. The game was kinda easy and just become kinda strange. That's it. 8 damage, 1 life, and top draw mode is on. But oh, removal is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty tough situation, but this vanishing verse really at least makes Igor breath of relief because
I'm
he can chump
hungry.
block the
Do what I
non-tramples
demand.
with the low tokens, but also he has an out for top decade Uvenwald audit, so the game keeps going. It's I would say it's starting to get better for Igor on his Orzhov side. But anyway, Monogreen can just draw something, or even if he doesn't draw like odds to instantly win the game, he can also draw good cards like Ranger class or Esca's Chariot and make the life real tough for. Mm, I also, yeah, I think I like this 4/4 because he plays around removal and also doesn't get killed. He doesn't have to Blizzard Brawl right now. It kind of forces the Urzov player to keep jump blocking. He also can't get extra value from Loth because Loth draw cards and makes you lose one life. So
Subservience will be rewarded.
it's a toke spot. It's weird because this professor was a good draw because now he can try to set up. I think he plays patch summoning just to make sure. No, he doesn't play patch summoning. Plays environmental science, Pascal exhibition, and confront the pest. So not the best cards for the situation because he would like to have Vanishing Verse open instead of going for Mascot, and he would need just some extra small bodies to keep jumping, blocking this layer of the Hydra. He doesn't have a Planeswalker on the graveyard. Uh, yeah, very tough situation here, Ruda.
I think mascots is the best draw, the best card here. Of course, you can get by now, but no, we would take some more lands. But I really like mascots because if you draw another lands, mascots can do exactly what you want because you totally close the board, and I think that's exactly what you want. What?
Go, my
Okay, good.
Yeah,
children.
he goes for life.
Okay.
So yeah, he goes for
Yeah,
life
yeah.
so he can draw from the Loth.
I totally
I think it's a
forgot
fair
what.
line. Yeah, I think it's a fair line. Also,
Yes, yes, yes.
it's something like I don't think there's a big difference here from 1 to 2 to 3 life because monogreen, if it's gonna kill you, if any creature pass, since it has a natural growth and play, it will pass enough for little. And if okay, if no creature, if a trampling creature pass, I don't think it's that extra 1 life that will make the difference. And I also like the fact that he chose to go for the draw cards here because he needs to break parity and starts to he needs to have enough creatures not to die to attacks and also starts to pressure. If I think that if there's off deck just try to defend himself, he will eventually get run over by a good draw on the monograin side. So yeah, that's exactly what Igor is trying to figure out right now. How much he wants to spend his mana on his main phase to try to access extra cards. If he wants to activate Loth, if he wants to create extra tokens, because he could sacrifice one of the creatures and generate 2 creatures of launch because of the static ability, and then he has to work with hidden information. That's the kind of play that we can see that makes the
Aren't
difference
I the
from
generous one?
uh, your regular just good player and the better players, because working with hidden information in this kind of situation when we are so behind on the game or we are very close to stabilizing and needs to make sure your opponent doesn't draw that one out that saves him and kills you. It's very tough to navigate, and it's really pleasant to see how Igor is handling and working with that on these games.
Yeah, really hard situation here. The decision are really tough. But has a primary removal spell. The main engine of backup, I think, is really nice too. Let's see if you really
Come,
goes to
I'll
draw.
tell
A
you a
draw a
secret.
pretty good card actually. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I think he has mana to cast it, right?
He has, but he would
But
die
he has
to
fear
even
too.
without it. Yeah, he can't create the angels and leave the vanishing verse. So it's weird because he knows his opponents have Snakeskin Veil here. So even if he tries to play around using Wild Audit, he would still die to it because of the hexproof. So maybe playing the angels would be nice here. Yeah, I think he could have played the angels. It's weird to keep Vanishing Verse open when you know your opponent have the Snakeskin Veil.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see what line it will be. So layer of the other here. Beginning of combat. Yeah, I will say that too. He can just exile a natural growth, and so game will become kinda closer. He has managed to activate the link, right? Yes. So is still on this game. But Emeritus Call is a really hard card to monogreen beat because on Dash, when you can destroy a creature and you're playing monogreen, your game becomes really harder. And flying creatures, as I say that before, are the wicked are
A
the
gift in
worst thing to
exchange
mono
for
green. So it's really hard to
loyalty.
beat this kind of game. So Emerald's Call is exactly what you don't want. But by now, so make this attack. It can activate the land and it's still alive. But without a natural growth combat becomes really easier to Orzhov. And with this combat, after that, Emerald's Call, I think the Orzhov can take this game.
Yeah, now the point is he could block. Yeah, this block is. I think both blocks are okay here because they play different. He can try to kill the lair of the Hydra after combat with +1/+1 and force the Veil, or he could just force the Veil on the Hive of the Tyrant blocking the Wolf. I guess I don't think Mertcan can hold this Veil for that much because even he draws even one
And
audit
I
here,
will cull the
uh,
weak.
he still needs to
My power is
you
for
know uh,
annihilation.
make the damage pass through, and we know that Loaf would make four Tognus blocker, and also he has a Hive of Fight Tyrant that's no information. But also we here on the cast know that Igor has Emerius Call as another way to generate extra angels. This Blizzard Brawl is not a bad draw, but still doesn't solve Martkan's situation here.
Yeah, it can destroy a creature, attack, make a Hydra and attack too. But that's exactly why love is so hard to beat to mono green if you don't doesn't have trample. Just can be shuppy block. It's forever and just lose to this to another card.
The
So
light is
love
insufferable.
now just
My
make a
will cannot
big
be denied.
uh big table, and now I think yes, he gets Emeritus Cow. Now creatures are just big, indestructible, hard to beat in combat, so angels coming.
Yeah, I don't think any card can seal the deal for Mertcan here. I mean, Oddity would be a good draw. His list doesn't play Inscription, but I don't think either of these cards would really save him. So he would just try to make the board smaller, but I think he's dead on board here. He can block one. He can block the Hive of the Tyrant, and he would still take like 5 8. Yeah, he's dead on board here.
Yeah, totally dead. You like this line to put Duris against a monogreen deck. I know there is plenty of spells that you can attack with Duris, but you like this line?
I think it's a fair line. There are some creatures and cards that I don't think are great on the Orzhov side against monogreen, like especially the Trespasser. I don't love it on the Orzhov side against monogreen, and I do think there are some cards on monogreen side that are non-creatures and really hard for the Orzhov to do. I think the stronger threats are both Ranger class, Esca's Chariot, and sometimes a Natural Growth. Those cards are hard for the Orzhov to answer properly. And also, it's a sideboard that Igor did. He sided the Trespasser and went with extra Durises, and he didn't bring the full playset of Duris. I also like this line because it's not like he's playing a combo or control deck when you're always hitting some spells. But having some Duris on the early game or even the mid turns when you can try to snipe Snakeskin Veil or Blizzard Brawl that the monogreen player is holding is a big play that can swing the game in Orzov's favor. And we saw that here on game two when the Duris was able to take the Esca's Chariot from Mertcan's hand. And also he had an easier time stabilizing for. I wouldn't say easy because he was at one life like the whole game, but one life is a lot of lives still. And what I really like it about Tours is when you play two, you sometimes are able to draw it on the early game, but don't get Duras flooded. Like draw two and three Duras when your opponent's already out of cards. So yeah, this is the perfect spot for me, keeping a Duras in hand. So you just try to attack the Esca's Chariot or the Ranger class, and then follow and move on with your life. Just creatures and removals and playing to the board.
Yeah, yeah, I can feel it. Well, Mono Green has kept his hands. Orzhov is mulligan and really hard. It's a really hard decision to mulligan, but that's it. Mono Green. And Mono Green keeps, again, a hands with action just on turn 3, and it's kind of slow. This game we watch kind of, and that's it. This dude is looking for a ranger class probably, and it finds a Ezeka's carrot. So, point to Gryffindor here. Really nice time for this card, and we have a 2 drop that can find some spells, search for lands, and help his hands. Orzhov Mulligan, but hand is going pretty well, Silish.
Yeah, on the mono green side, I think there are some matchups and situations where you can keep without the 2 drop. Like if you have Old Growth Troll on the play, I think it's fair to keep a hand that doesn't begins with it with 1 drop or 2 drop. And also in this matchup, in this specific matchup, I do think having the more cards, the extra resource can end up mattering. Because I know we saw a game one where the Monograin just trampled over with Lots Cobra into Eska's Chariot, into a lot of critters and going really wide, not respecting anything and getting the damage done. But also we have this other kind of games where the monogreen can slowly get small advantage through combats, like one extra counter from ranger class here and there, one good exchange with a snakeskin veil against removal, one blizzard brow making your opponent's blocks uncomfortable. So I can see why the monograin is keeping a slower hand here. And okay, it kinds of play into the grind game plan of the Orzhov that wants to exchange resource and get over cards with recurring traps like Edgar or wedding announcement, making extra tokens and lessons on sideboard. But I do think Monogreen can be able to play very competent grind gaming against removal and other decks trying to grind in.
Yeah, let's see how they will play here. Board is totally stalling because Monogreen doesn't have a good attack here. But more time the Orzhov takes, more time Massacre can do a big trouble here. So I think Orzhov just must hold the game because he knows about the Veil. So Massacre through 5 is the safe one, but for other sides, he could have think, well, if my opponents draw a 7 lands, so creatures will be huge. Creatures will be huge anyway if he does a massacre here because Vel just saved the beast, and if you draw lands, probably go. So I think the best line here is just make the professor and take more card advantage and wait one more turn because especially if you will confirm the cards that he could take, confront, experimental size, reduce to memory. I think they reduce to memory, not to cast by now, but to cast after some protection. I think it'd be. the best line, and I think Nuclear Access think kind of like that. So a ref here, okay. If he flips, I can next turn just kill, but of course taking some serious damage here. And he just pass.
Yeah, from the Orzhov side, Ruda, I also did not love this Midhook massacre. I do think he could try to learn and not take that much damage, but yeah, I think he didn't have much of a choice anyway. Like now he has to go forward just to memory and deal with the Ovenwald Behemoth here. Yeah, I think it was the better play. Yeah, this way he deals with Behemoth permanently
Yeah,
and kinda of stabilize, especially with this extra land the monogreen drill right now.
yeah,
Edgar
especially if
sculpting will
Edgar.
get the job done. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Edgar is just amazing in this kind of deck. Edgar is a technology that Blood and Snow decks really love to use against aggro decks, and it's really annoying. No, same for someone who really loves to play mono green. I really hate plays against this kind of situation, and Euphraxis did exactly all that you need to know to annoy a mono green player. So now Lawless and
Darkness will swallow the
just
light.
close the
We
door
will slay our
over and
enemies.
over, and so win a game stays so far away to mono green. But anytime, oh this lens, anytime to mono green. I don't think mono green was in the best position in this meta game, and make a final is really amazing. So congratulations to Mertcan Independence. So, but these are Zov decks, man. They are really hard to monogram.
They are, and also I think the monogreen, the list from Merchant was better suited to fight the monogreen from Cardarelli because Carda did not play the Edgar. So Edgar Charmed Groom is a toe card for monogreen because both of the sides are very relevant. The 4/4 creature is able to
I
make
will
good trades
get what I
sometimes
want.
when the smaller creatures can't,
It's bold to
and
bargain with
also
me.
the lifelink chunk blockers are very relevant too. The extra life comes in handy for not being on reach for trampling damage, and also the Edgar keeps coming back and back and back, and the 4/4 pumps the tokens it creates. Here, it's just a matter of how much will. No, I actually think it's little here. He can just activate Hive of the Tyrant, and he will have to block 4/2/2, and it passes 2/4/6/7. But since he has to block two creatures, the Midhook Massacre makes your creatures deal damage when. Yeah, I think the Igor just saw this line right now. He's just going for it.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally. If he just no, like a tabletop player, just put your arm on the table and turn to right. It would be just like that. Will kill sometime. We're still killing sometime, But it's a really hard. It's a hard combat to mono green. Anyway,
Yeah, just to, well, I will recount just to make sure we're not missing anything. If he had block, he attack everything, block Edgar and two tokens because the 3/3 has menace, and it passed 3/5/7/9.
A gift. My
Three,
will
yeah,
cannot be
three,
denied.
5/7/9/10. Yeah, whoopsie. He goes whoopsie, but he knows
oopsie.
there's no way. Yeah, there's no way he can lose this game from this point. The better draw for
Yeah,
Merchant would
there
be
is no
a
splinter twin
natural
here.
growth, maybe. Yeah, even a
We will
natural growth
slay
is not
our
able to
enemies.
finish the damage from here, and it's
Yeah.
definitely not a natural growth. So we have Igor Producto and his Orzhov mid-range deck as the champion of 500 cash GGtoor Standard Man Tournament in this February 5. He wins $200 for first place, and okay, second place isn't sad either. As Ruda Sage, Mertcan brought Mono Green all the way through the championship and faced lots of hard matchups. I think the Resolve decks are not great for monogreen. Even other mid-range and control decks with lots of sweepers and the Midhood Massacre and Love everywhere. That's not a metagame that Monogreen wants to see. Storm the Festival and other cards like that. Bertkan still makes $100 on his second place on his runner-up position.